On the other end of it, though, the same can't be said for the Minnesota Vikings. That Aaron Glenn just called a phenomenal game for this Lions defense. Sam Darnold only completes 18 of 41 passes, 166 yards, 10 yards on 3 carries, Jay, and obviously that had a huge trickle-down effect on all their pass catchers that really struggled.
Yeah, so question for you, Connor. So the thing with Sam Darnold this year has been that he holds the ball for a very long time. Right? I think it's only like Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts who hold the ball longer, and that's so these intermediate routes can develop in Kevin O'Connell's offense. Aaron Glenn, what seemed like he was doing last night was just, okay, we're going to play man coverage and we're going to blitz. And our blitz is going to get there quicker than 3 seconds it takes for you to get the ball off. And it just seemed like they had no answers whatsoever the entire game.
Yeah, and honestly, Glenn did a great job, too, of mixing up what the fronts looked like, so Darnold wasn't reading the blitz. And like you said, heavy man coverage, but you could change what the coverage is going to look like pre-snap. So Sam was not seeing the coverage well pre-snap as they rotated it, and then the fronts are different. So, yeah, I know they're going to blitz, but which way is it coming from? I can't make the adjustments on the offensive line. And like you said, when everything is schemed open for you, Darnold is a guy, the biggest criticism of him has always been, can he play fast enough? And all year he has. Last night he finally ran to a buzzsaw.
Well, and by the way, he was so rattled that even when they did get somebody, so one of my bets on Football Night in America last night, as part of my parlay, was anytime touchdown for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
He got open in 3 straight end zone looks, and they couldn't get on the ball. And you're like I was sitting there going nuts. Me and producer Damien are watching this, and we're going like, oh my God, like
just throw the ball
that, just get him the ball. This is like, so it was just incredibly frustrating. Like, even when he had guys open, he couldn't get it to it. They didn't take any deep shots, really, to Jordan Addison. I know Jefferson had a quote-unquote okay game, but it didn't really ever feel like he made an impact the way that we've seen Jefferson sort of take over a game. They just couldn't seem to get anything going on offense. And, when they had opportunities to make plays, it was just a bad day at the office for the Vikings all around. Jay, do you think there's a lot of controversy around whether Sam Darnold should be eligible for Comeback Player of the Year? He's one of the top 3 betting favorites on DraftKings. Do you think, we can debate whether or not he should be eligible, but does this game affect that as well? Because this is a game that everyone watched. National TV for the number 1 spot, and he was as bad as he's been all year.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly doesn't help, and he wouldn't have won over any new voters. If you were going to vote for Darnold, I'm not sure you're abandoning him off of one bad game. Like, he still went 14-3. He's still one of the best stories of the season. I do think it's enough to tip it into where I expect Joe Burrow now will win that award. I would make him the favorite. I think Darnold is still live, and I'm not sure, but it's such a nebulous thing. There's so much ambiguity that I don't have much confidence either way on who's going to win, but I think it's pretty close. I would probably lean Burrow because the intention of the spirit of the guidelines is to reward more injury players, even though I don't really understand Burrow's comeback story when he was 3rd favorite for MVP, and maybe the award should go more like the J.K. Dobbins of the world.
Dobbins, to me, it's clearly J.K. Dobbins. Sam Darnold is, by the way, it's an amazing story career arc-wise, but if you think about it, here's what, and I saw a thread that you were in, and somebody on Twitter commented it, and they had the exact right take, which is this, in essence, Sam Darnold didn't come back from anything last year. Sam Darnold was the backup quarterback on a team that went to the Super Bowl. He just didn't get a chance.
It's like a redshirt year.
It's like a redshirt year. He was the backup nothing bad happened. He was the backup quarterback on a team that went to the Super Bowl, and the guy in front of him stayed healthy all year. Then he got an opportunity at a starting role this year, and he's blossomed in it, so it's great. But like, the comeback story for Sam Darnold is the career.
Yes.
But that's not what the award is. The award isn't the guy that's banged around for 5 or 6 years and then suddenly blossoms. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, Geno Smith is the exact same thing, and he won the award. So, I mean, you can debate the merits of the award. But, I mean, Darnold didn't do himself any favors last night. And his whole thing is like, his comeback story is he exercised the ghosts, but the ghosts kind of came back a little bit last night.
They do. Do you think this hurts Kevin, real quickly, do you think this hurts Kevin O'Connell's head coach of the year candidate? Because I thought he got outcoached. He got outcoached.
Again, the team had a win total of 6.5. They went 14-3. I think that he has banked enough goodwill. I think Dan Quinn,
Commanders had a win total of 6.5 as well, and they just won 12 games.
Yep. With a lot less 14.
With a lot worse. I would argue the Vikings have top to bottom much better talent. The Vikings were a playoff team. They just lost their quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, that's my argument. The Commanders were.
It's a better conversation than I think the markets are making it now.
I think Kevin O'Connell will win because I think the candidates behind him, it's going to be a fractured field. Some people will go Quinn, some will go Campbell, some will go Reed, Payton. I think Kevin O'Connell will be just top 2 on almost every ballot and will win that way.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.